Hey Gibran, it's Alex Rodriguez, and I am here to review your website. Obviously, as I always say, a lot of these things need to be tested, but this is just my honest opinion based on many years of experience. So I hope this is helpful for you. Okay. Now, I want to say before I go in is that this is obviously a blog, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's how do I say this? There's only so much you can do on Blogger. I mean, there's definitely some more advanced templates that you can use. So I'm going to talk about some fundamentals that might help you, but you might be limited in applying this feedback. So just kind of putting that out there. So the first thing that I come upon when I visit this is that it's all very dark, right? And I have mixed feelings on light type over a dark background because, for example, when I'm on my mobile or when I'm on my Kindle, especially when I'm at night and I'm reading, I actually like the light over dark background. That's the way I prefer reading on electronic screens. But when I'm on my desktop, though, I don't feel like I want to read it this way, right? So, and also when I'm just browsing websites or blogs on my mobile device, I tend to want to just, read it over a white background. I don't know. This might be a personal preference. Just take it exactly as it is. But I feel like the dark background is very heavy to read. I'm 40 years old and it's kind of hard on my eyes. So also the font size seems to be a little bit small. So let's see if we can alter the font size here. Let's see, right there, it's already easier to read for me. See, I mean, you might not see this in your monitor from this video, but for me, it makes all the difference, man. That font size being nice and large, it's just a lot easier on the eyes. So, anyway, the other thing I wanted to say was that, when I arrive to your site now, I'm on your main domain. So this is my landing page, right? And by the way, for those people watching the video, Gibran knows Spanish. I know Spanish. The website's in Spanish, but for the sake of my YouTube channel, I'm just commenting in English, okay? So we're not going to talk about language in this video. We're just going to talk about appearance and layout and just, what makes a good website. So I arrive on your site and it has the name of the domain and it says squat, bench, deadlift. So I understand what that is. Depending on your target audience, because I've read some of your articles, they're really good, and you, in many occasions, you're talking to a newbie audience, so a person that is very new to your subject matter, who may not be very aware or familiar with the term squat, bench, deadlift. I'm just putting that out there, that even though it's super familiar to you and it's familiar to me, to a person that is new, that might not mean anything. Especially these are English terms. So it might be something that just, blocks people's understanding. I don't know. Just kind of putting that out there, that it may be better with some kind of a subtitle that explains a positioning statement, right? A pitch statement that explains what the site is about. So for example, if your site were about fitness from a fresh point of view, something like that, something that to a new user, a new visitor, will immediately help them understand the umbrella under which the content that you have there falls under. Does that make sense? So that might be a stronger statement, right? I also kind of want to understand a little bit of your authority, what authority you have to speak on this subject. So having a quick bio, your photo, or something like that would not hurt at all. I think it would really help you kind of draw people in to why they need to listen to you, because you certainly have an authority, you have an experience that is worth listening to, but you're not stating that at all. It looks just like one other fitness website, and I don't think that's fair to you, and it's not fair to your reader either. So anyway, I'm just putting that out there. Everything else, I think here there's a problem here and why there's so much empty space here. And again, put your bio, put a magnet would be good. A magnet is just my internal term in the product staircase, which we can talk offline about that, but something there. And then you have the archives of the blog, but I wonder why you have all this empty space. Might be intentional. I don't know. It just feels kind of weird. Blogger blogs don't seem to be responsive because they're kind of old, so they didn't come out when the whole responsive movement. So this may have a mobile template, and I'm not going to pull up my mobile right now. So anyway, it is what it is. So yep, you got your articles, and you got very timid share buttons. So there's certainly other better, more well-presented ways to present your icons, your share icons. But this is very timid, and it's probably going to be ignored. I don't like this block because there's just so much bunched in to each other. So it's got your your name, your author name in 306. I don't know what that means. The fact there's no comments, and then you have your labels, which is cool. It's just that everything's so bunched up, right? And this is also where I at the end of your post, I would like to see who you are, your experience, how long you've been doing this, etc., etc. I'm sure this is no different. If I click on your article, your homepage is not, in terms of the presentation, like my first impression, it's no different than the post presentation. So this is something that I'm not sure if on Blogger you'll be able to get a template, and I'm just going to show you my site by way of example. It's kind of more like a magazine style, right? So you've got kind of a highlighted article, and then you have excerpts for the most recent articles, and then you've got categories and things like that. So just as something that, as a landing for a new user, it's a lot friendlier because you're telling them, what's the main thing they should read, where they should go next, etc., etc. It's a lot more natural for a user. But otherwise, there is no privacy statement, there's no terms of use, there's no copyright statement, and these are kind of standard things that you'd want to have on a website. Other than that, it's a pretty simple blog, and I understand that's maybe now not much more than that, but if you want to grow it from here, it might be helpful to kind of start from the right foundation. So I would challenge you to think about these ideas and maybe consider incorporating these ideas to set a more authoritative and professional presentation, and then build up from there, okay? So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I hope this was helpful, and if you need anything else, just reach out to me. Let's keep in touch. Take care.